Welcome to Arima Community Center's Arima Community Café. This is our effort to reach out to the community of Arima. We believe here at the center that a community center needs to be the center of the community. So at the Arima Community Café, we'll be having cafe conversations with stalwarts of Arima. We'll be focusing on health and wellness. We're focusing on the achievements and the absolute beautiful history of Arima. So today, for our first cafe conversation, we have with us Dr. Bobb of Regal Medical. Regal Medical is situated at the corner of Anglican Street, which is just down the road from us, and King Street. So Dr. Bobb volunteered his time, and he is going to be our resident doctor to talk to us about men and women's health. And because we're mostly women at the Arima Community Center, we're starting off with women's health. Welcome, Dr. Bobb.
Yes, thank you. It's definitely a pleasure to be here.
Great. So again, because there's so many women here at the center, our first topic is hormones, stress and fatigue, why women feel drained.
Yes.
So Dr. Bobby, I was going to jump right into it. When a woman says she's constantly tired, what is really going on under the surface?
So, truthfully, this is something that I encounter quite frequently. A lot of women complain of being tired constantly without understanding why. And it's often more than just being busy or not getting a good night's rest. What I've noticed is that it's usually a combination of hormonal imbalance, chronic stress, and lifestyle overload. Now the challenge here is that a lot of women normalize this when it's actually your body signaling to you that something is off.
So what you're trying to say is that feeling tired all the time is physiological, not psychological.
Yes, that's correct. So chronic fatigue is actually a symptom. If you're feeling tired every day, then your body is trying to tell you that something is out of balance.
Okay, so let's break that down. So how do hormones actually affect energy levels?
Okay, so you could think of hormones as your body's internal messaging system. For example, estrogen aids with mood, with your energy levels and mental clarity. Progesterone helps with calm and sleep. And cortisol is your body's stress response hormone. So for short periods of time, the cortisol will give you a boost of energy to handle stressful situations. Now the problem arises when you are stressed constantly, and that throws your cortisol out of balance. Your cortisol levels remain high constantly, and that can affect your sleep. It could cause burnout, and it could cause hormonal disruptions as well.
Well, that sounds like a whole lot of women. We are going all the time, and the thing is, sometimes you're just tired, but you can't sleep, you can't rest. So what is that? Is that the cortisol? What is it?
Yes. So when the cortisol levels are constantly high, what happens is, yes, you are tired, but it has you wired and primed to keep going. So you find that you are feeling tired, but your body doesn't allow you to rest.
Okay, so it's about stress playing a big role in our lives. But what kind of stress are we talking about? And is it that the stress alone that is making us constantly feel exhausted?
So stress plays a huge role. It's probably one of the biggest drivers behind chronic fatigue. Now, in our modern times, women are often juggling a career, family responsibilities, there's mental and emotional load and stressors. And there's a wide range of different things that contribute to that stress. Now, it's normal to have stress in your life, but if that stress is not well regulated, your body essentially gets rewired to constantly be in survival mode. So you feel tired, you feel demotivated, you may feel foggy and drained. But a lot of women think that, this is normal, this is part of life. But actually, you may be quietly burning out.
So what I'm hearing is we feel tired and exhausted. We can't rest. It's the cause is probably high stress levels. That produces an increase of cortisol in our system.
Correct. Yes.
And so we just kind of like in a cycle.
Yes.
Right? We're in a cycle all the time. I know that describes me perfectly. Now I know what I do, and maybe I'll share a little bit, but tell me what medically or alternatively can we do? So we're looking at solutions.
Okay.
What do you suggest?
So what I often tell my patients is that we can't fix everything at once. We would like to, but unfortunately we can't. So we should start by focusing on the fundamentals. So let's start with sleep. You should prioritize sleep like if it's medicine, because it actually is. Once your sleep is not adequate, then everything else down the line gets affected.
So take a pause. So what do you consider, or what is adequate sleep?
So adequate sleep is around 8 hours. You could say 6 on the lower end, but try to get at least 8 hours.
And that's not practical, Dr. Bobb. So if I'm thinking about myself, and I know I'm not unique in this, right? 4.5 hours seems to me to be good enough sleep, because if it is, or maybe 5 hours, because if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock, then I'm up at around 4 o'clock, right? If I go to sleep at 12 o'clock, then I'll be up at about 5 o'clock. So for me to get, 8 hours sleep?
8 hours, yeah.
I'll have to go to bed at 12 o'clock and get up at 8 o'clock, because there's no way I go to bed before 12 and I'll be in my bed and there's no way I just don't go to sleep before 11 or 12. So how am I going to get this 8 hours sleep?
Yes, so it is difficult. It is very difficult to get 8 hours sleep.
No, I'm sorry to pause you there.
Sure.
In your practice,
Yes.
how many women get 8 hours sleep?
It is very uncommon for
Thank you very
women
much.
or anybody to get 8 hours of sleep. So what we tend to advise is that if you can at least get 6, you could live with that, you could work with that. But 4 hours, 5 hours, that's far too low. And what will happen over time is that you will gradually burn yourself out.
So again, we're back in the cycle.
Yes.
What else besides sleep?
Yes. So
What else can we do?
Besides sleep, optimizing your nutrition is very important, because if your diet is poor, if you have nutritional deficiencies, these will significantly contribute to chronic fatigue. So it's very, very important to make sure that your diet is well balanced.
What about supplements?
Supplements can help. The mistake that a lot of people tend to make is that they try to use the supplements to replace your diet.
The actual diet.
Yes, but it's supposed to support your diet.
Okay, so if we're talking about diet as a solution, is that 3 meals a day? Because that is also not really practical.
Yeah, not necessarily, but you want to make sure that your calorie intake is adequate, not too much and not too little. And you also want to make sure that you are eating balanced meals. So to make sure that you have enough protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats, fiber, and make sure that you hydrate as well.
So how much KFC should we eat a week?
That is a interesting question. Occasional indulgence is fine, but too much fried foods should not be a part of your regular diet.
So like my grandmother used to say, everything in moderation.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's do some quick questions now. Fatigue is just part of being a woman. True or false?
That's false. So fatigue is common, but chronic fatigue is not normal.
Okay. Coffee. My favorite. I must have it every morning.
So coffee can help in the short term, but overuse could actually mask underlying issues.
So what is overuse? What is too much coffee?
Okay, so generally it varies from person to person, but let's say 1 to 2 cups of coffee per day with a regular serving size.
So you know, I had a friend who had 6 cups of coffee a day, and that was like very normal for her.
Yeah.
Tell me, so it was normal for her. What are the possible long-term effects of that?
Okay, so what happens is coffee doesn't necessarily give you energy. What it does is it blocks tiredness. So your body would still continue to be tired, but you would not be able to perceive that tiredness. So that's building up in the background, but you are blocking it and you are continuing to burn the candle on both ends.
Ah, okay. That is interesting. So I love coffee first thing in the morning, and sometimes it's the last thing at night. So at 12 o'clock I might have a cup of coffee, and I'll still go to sleep.
Yes, so you may fall asleep fine, but oftentimes having coffee late in the day can affect the quality of your sleep. So I usually advise persons to have coffee during the morning period and try to avoid it, let's say, after lunch.
You know what is interesting to me, and I thought about it this morning, is that we could feel tired. We walk around, we are feeling tired or we're feeling happy or whatever, and it's our own bodies, but we don't actually know what is happening on the inside. You know, there's no awareness really of the biological things that are actually happening in the system, so that we will do things that may make us feel good, but it's actually having a negative biological effect on us.
Yes, that's very true. And that's why it's very important to do wellness checks regularly, because your healthcare provider would actually be able to, ask questions about your day-to-day life, your nutrition, and different factors that you may not have at the forefront of your mind. And we will be able to look for potential pitfalls in your day-to-day life that can affect your health later on.
Okay. So what then is one sign that a woman should not ignore?
So feeling exhausted after a full night's rest should not be ignored. That's a big red flag.
Ah, excellent. Thank you. So as we wrap up, Dr. Bobb, what is your message to women?
So in closing, if you are feeling tired constantly, definitely don't ignore that. Your body is not failing you, but it's communicating to you. And the earlier that you listen to that communication, is the easier that it will be for you to regain your energy levels and to regulate your hormones and to improve your overall health.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you so much, Dr. Bobb. It was wonderful having you. And we're coming to the end of our first cafe conversation with Dr. Bobb of Regal Medical. And there is something that would be very special we'd like to share. Here at Arima Community Center, we do have membership. This helps us run the center. This helps us with maintenance and so on. And it's also a way for the community to support the work that we do at the center. Membership is $100 for a year, and the year starts whenever you start. So you renew it on the anniversary of when you start. And what we're trying to do is now build value for that membership. And one of the things that we're offering, along many, we'll share some more with membership, is visits to Dr. Bobb, once you have your membership card, Dr. Bobb is graciously offered to give you a 10% discount on your bill. So remember, membership in the Arima Community Center comes with value to you. So we also, as well as that membership, you can, as part of membership, members get discounts on the rental of the venue, discounts on some of the programs that we're having, and there's so many other things. So we would love to hear from you, community of Arima, as to what it is you would like for us to do. What more do you want from us here at the community center? What other conversations you'd like to hear? We have in mind, of course, more from Dr. Bobb. We have in mind, just a minute, I'm getting a message from my producer. Right, oh, I understand that we have some questions. Let me see. Thank you, producer. So we said, how do women check their hormone count?
Okay.
How do we do that? What is that?
So that's an interesting question. Now, there are many different types of hormones in the body. So those different hormones regulate different things. So you have your reproductive hormones, you have hormones that deal with metabolism, you have hormones that deal with sleep. And pretty much every function in your body has some sort of hormonal signaling to it. So what I generally advise is that you have a consultation with your provider, and they will be able to guide what investigations will need to be done to see if there's any imbalance anyway. So it's not always a good idea to throw a big net.
Right.
You know, so
yes.
It's good to zero in and get some guidance as to what in particular to look for. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes, you can have membership today. Somebody said that. Visit our website. It's arimacommunitycenter.com. Visit our website. You can sign up for membership on the site, and you can also book your space for your wedding or a conference or any special event. And as we wrap up, I can't close without announcing our second Play Popcorn and Pajamas, which is up on the Saturday, the 28th of this month, which is next Saturday, from 3 p.m. We have games, all kinds of games for the family. You come, there'll be a bouncy castle, face painting, we have Uno, darts, whole host of games. So bring the family out and enjoy. For person under 5, it's no cost. From 5 to 17, it's just $10, and above 17, it's $20. So we are making family fun available and cost-effective for you. So come on out to the Arima Community Center next Saturday, 28th, for Play Popcorn and Pajamas. And we have a movie at 6:30. We will host a movie. Bring your blankets. Somebody asked, do they have to wear pajamas? No, you don't have to wear pajamas. It's totally up to you. But we would love to see, as part of the fun, come enjoy the pajamas. Don't forget to bring your blanket for the movie. So great. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to send comments. We're here listening for your suggestions. So thank you, and see you next time on Arima Community Center Cafe, Café Conversations.